Hello, Mindy.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic this evening. I am Kimberly Wilson, and I am going to be interviewing you this evening. I am so excited to have the opportunity to get to know you a little better and to share with our members of Career and Technical Education of our new Teacher of the Year. So, congratulations to you again.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. So, Mindy, I'm going to go right ahead and get into our interview. And this evening, I have four questions that I'm going to ask you that will just help us to get to know you a little better. All right?
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, question number one, tell us a little bit about your background and how you became involved in career and technical education.
Okay. My background is I didn't get my bachelor's until I was in my mid 30s, early 30s. And it's actually in early childhood. When I finished, my intent was to get a master's and go into early childhood, having been a para. Um, but my superintendent, our FACS teacher, had just left the district, and he asked me would I be interested because of my life experiences up to that point. He thought that that would be a good fit for me, and so I got my master's in 712 education, and then did everything else I needed to do to become a FACS teacher to become certified. And so I kind of fell into it, but then discovered that I really liked it. And so I actually was lucky enough to become part of a region in Arkansas of FCCLA advisors who are phenomenal. And so they kind of took me under their wing and didn't give me an option of not being active. And so it's just, I hit the ground running and have been going ever since.
Oh, well, I'm just going to tell you that's what happens to us FACS teachers. I'm a FACS teacher too. They rope you in and they don't let you go and they make you get involved, right?
They totally do. And I had a student who had been elected as a district officer, and she said, I
Uh-huh.
want, and she was going to serve that year. And I walked
Uh-huh.
into that, and she said, and I want to run for state. And so it, it just snowballed. So I never had the option of not doing. So,
Well, just listening to your story, I'd like to follow up with that and just tell me, like, what makes you passionate about career and technical education, or if we want to be more specific about family and consumer sciences.
okay. And here's the deal with me. I don't care if it's family and consumer science that makes them find what they're interested in. I'm passionate about because I see the opportunities it gives my students, and I talk about all CTSOs, all of our realms within career and technical education to try to help them find what they need. Because I also teach middle school level careers. And so I'm trying to help them find where they need to go in high school as well, whether that's with me or, construction trades or ag or business or technology. And so I just see the opportunities. I'm a mom of six, and three of my older ones are in a career and technical field. And I'm just going to be honest, they make more money than their dad and I will probably ever see. And they didn't go to college, they have technical educations from technical schools. So I see the opportunities. I see kids get excited when they realize that they thought they were not going to go to college. They said, I don't know what I want to do. I just don't think I can do 4 more years of school. And then I explain to them how there are other options, and the light bulb comes on. And so trying to get them involved in CTSOs, so that they have the opportunities that I wasn't offered in high school. I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't there for me. And so there's a pathway for everybody, and that's cool.
You are so right about that. And, I think that we are just big proponents of helping our students to understand that. And like you said, it doesn't matter what, area of career and technical education that, you find yourself passionate or interested in going into. Let's just find somewhere where you're going to be happy and be successful. And so,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Mhm.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And moves us into our next question, which talks about and I'm listening to you and how you know communicate with your students. Tell us about some of the practices that you use in your classroom to make instructional experiences unique. And like, what is your secret to success? What's your secret sauce?
I don't have a secret. Being older helps me with classroom management is key of teaching. I don't care what area you teach in. And so I was older, I had been a para, and so that was a start. I already knew how to build relationships with my kiddos, because I had my own classroom as a para. I had a computer lab. So I had the experience of already making connections with kids, and that's it in a nutshell. I could be teaching, I don't know, digging a hole. And if I've made a connection with a kid, they're going to want to do that. They're going to come, they're going to want to be a part of that. And so just trying to make sure that we are working together to reach a goal, whether that's in FCCLA, whether that's with a FACS project. I'm very project oriented. I don't like book work. I don't like grading it any more than they like doing it. And so I'm very, very project oriented. We're leading up to Christmas, and I've got 7 different preps, and all 7 are doing a different project. Um, and they're enjoying it, and I'm a little crazy right now. But it's just about making sure that they're staying connected and involved, and not letting the kid that might slip through the cracks somewhere else, not letting them do that. Making
Yeah.
sure that they realize that I don't care who they are. I don't care what their academic level is. They're all capable of it on some level. And so, I don't know. They're a person in my room. They're their own person in my room. So,
Yes. So I'm going to make this a two-part question. Um, so share with us one of your proudest accomplishments in career and technical education that kind of goes along with one of those unique practices that you have in your classroom with your students.
okay. I think the proudest thing for me is the grant for over 65,000 to give my kids the culinary arts pathway. I mean, we put in a culinary kitchen, we put in commercial kitchen. Those are experiences that we had home kitchens before, so they didn't get the experience of all the industrial equipment. Um, on that level, that was difficult. I'm glad we achieved it, and it gave us the opportunity for them to get more certifications, go a little more intense on our certifications. But it's, as far as probably my actual proudest moments, though, it's the things my kids have accomplished, their certifications, my officers, watching their lives change in FCCLA, going on and being, state officers and running for nationals, and I'm watching their lives change, not just in high school, but I'm watching pathways change for their life. Like, I've watched kids literally change their major after going to Washington, D.C. on a leadership trip. I'm going as a doctor. We come home, they're like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and I'm going into politics. And they did. I like to follow up. I like to see where they're going, and where I've got for my first year in the classroom, they're graduating this year from college. And I've watched majors change just from what they did in their junior, senior year of high school, like what their intent was when they first went. And they're like, it's because of what I learned in your class, or it's what I learned with FCCLA that I decided to change what I'm doing. And that's actually what makes me the most proud.
Yeah. I can only imagine that. So in this next question, and in the beginning you talked about, how, you decided later to, move forward and going full-fledged with teaching and, changing up and actually and becoming a classroom teacher. And so the next question says, what words of advice or support or encouragement would you give to teachers who may go into the field, or even teachers who are facing challenges now? Like seeing how things have changed over a time period. Like, how would you advise them, encourage, and or motivate them, either into going into or maybe the challenges that they face?
Well, we all know that first of all, COVID brought on a plethora of changes for us. And I'm not going to lie, it's been different and difficult. And I'm fortunate that I'm in a smaller district, but it doesn't mean we don't face the same challenges. First of all, build your teacher network, build those relationships, not just with your kids, but with all of your the staff around you, whatever field you're in. If you're in CTE, reach out across your state, across your region, build those relationships, because when you are struggling, so are they. And if you can bounce off each other, and I'm not usually down when they are, and vice versa. And so we have an incredible, I personally have an incredible network of mentors. I mean, just traveled with one division. She was the one that took me under her wing when I came in, and she's been teaching for 20 something years. And we went to Vision together. We traveled together a lot. When I feel like I'm really messing up or I really can't do it anymore and I'm just tired, um, they're the ones that say, "You're good. You're good. Here's what we need to do." And that's not, and I'm fortunate I have that in my building as well. I'm the only facts teacher, but I have some incredible staff members down my hall. So um, I think it's all the way around. It's relationships. It comes back to relationships, both on student level and staff level. So
Yeah, and you're so right about that. You know, we really do. At a time like this, we really do need each other to build each o- build each other up and to help each other to move through because as you say, no day is the same. Every day is different. And you know, the things that we go through and the things that we see as teachers, you know, we do need those people. So it's just awesome when you have those relationships. And so our last and final question is this. What part of being an ACTE member do you value most? One. And what would you say to someone who is considering becoming a member of ACTE?
okay. I kind of feel like a broken record, but again, it's the networking. I, I've gotten to know people on the state level in the state office and our education department at the state office because of ACTE, both regional ACTE and state ACTE. I actually started with our local our facts membership, and then we're unified, and that makes us a part of Arkansas ACTE. And that got me noticing everything that's going on. And because I travel so much with FCCLA and I get to go to Capitol Leadership where we lobby and advocate for funding for CTE, I get to see what CTE does. I got to see what ACTE does, how they make sure we stay relevant. That's my job security. And so I know everything they're doing to make sure our funding stays in place, to make sure that our programs are important and are valid. Um, Not everybody sees that because they don't get involved. And so I'm actually president elect for ATFACS, and which puts me on the board for Arkansas ACTE as a FACS member. Um, that got me super involved, and I see how all the wheels turn together. And um, I just encourage people to check it out. Go see what they're doing. Look, especially if you're using Perkins funding or anything like that. That keeps us relevant. ACT keeps us relevant. ACT is there at the forefront, making sure that our legislators know what's going on with us. Um, and that's not something we can do alone. We have to have that voice. We have to have that group of people advocating for us. So um, I just encourage everybody to become involved it, on the state level, the regional level, the national level. I was blown away by Vision. Never been to a conference that large. It was amazing. And the PD was phenomenal. So I just encourage everybody to get involved.
Well, I tell you, Mindy, I'm excited because you're my fax colleague and peer, right? And we're just rocking. And so I am just so proud to call you colleague and peer.
Thank you.
in family and consumer sciences, and you being our new teacher of the year. I'm also humbled and honored that I had the privilege and honor of interviewing you this evening. And so, what I like to do is, if there's a closing remark you'd like to give to leave us with, you can. And if not, then we here would love to wish you and your family a very happy holiday. And we'll see you again at another Visions where our socks will be knocked off again, right?
Um, I think I just want to say, lift your colleagues up, your CTE colleagues. If you know of a teacher that I'm not any better than anybody else, someone nominated me.
Yeah,
And so you have amazing people that you work with, amazing CTE instructors, nominate them.
yeah,
Just fill out the form, nominate them,
yeah.
because there's so many great teachers across our country and they deserve to be recognized.
Yes, you are so right about that, Mindy. So, so right about that. So again, I say to you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, so proud to call you a fact sister, right? And just thank you for this evening and thank you for being here with us. So have a great evening and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you and you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.